students, welcome back to the YouTube channel of Lalbagh Girls Inter College. I'm Mariam Abdul Halim, your geography teacher. Ideals of Indian Constitution. So ideals means that something which makes which is regarded as perfect. So ideals, it is these are the things which makes our Indian Constitution perfect. So first of all, we have fundamental rights. The preamble to the constitutions contain main ideals and the objective that the nation is supposed to achieve. The preamble declares Indian sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. All these ideals have been incorporated in our constitution and become basic of the fundamental rights. The constitutions provides for the sixth fundamental right. So in our Indian constitutions there are six fundamental rights which are provided to the people of the nation. Then we have laws and dissents. Laws are those set of rules according to which any country is governed. Our government has made so many laws in various fields to maintain order in the society and safeguard the interest of the people. Dissent or difference of opinion is the essence of democracy. So dissent is the essence of democratic government or democratic country. Without dissent, there will be no democracy. It means a strong disagreement or dissatisfaction which established ideas or views of the ruling group. In a democracy, no one can complain that he has not a chance to be heard. Democratic government recognizes and protects civil liberties such as freedom of speech, assembly and religion. So in a democratic country we have got the freedom of our speech, assembly and religion. In a democratic country we also if we have objection on any issue, anything which is bothering us, that will be heard by the government. So no one, not a single person will be said that then we have dictatorships. Dictatorships works on the principle that all the dissenting voice have to be silent and people are ordered to follow without questioning. So in dictatorship only the ruling party or the person have all the rights to take the decisions and they don't get any freedom of speech, assembly or religion. They have no right to question anything, they have to be silent. Given below are two examples of the law of descendant, one practiced before independence and another after the independence. Let us study about them. So we have two examples here of descendants, laws of descents. So first is Salt Satyagraha. Salt Satyagraha was launched by Mahatma Gandhi during the freedom struggle in 1930 under civil disobedience movement. On 12 March 1930, Mahatma Gandhi began a historic Dandi March from the Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi, a small coastal village in Gujarat. He reached Dandi with his 79 followers on April 5th, and the next day Gandhiji violated the salt law by picking up a handful of salt left by the sea waves. Mahatma Gandhi's Satyagraha against the salt law was a symbol of disobey the unjust government law which had established British monopoly on salt making. So here Mahatma Gandhi raised his voice against the Britishers at that time who had the British monopoly on salt making. Means they were the only one who were making the salt and they have not given the right to the people and any other person has not given the right to make salt. So here Gandhi ji raised against voice against the Britishers. Then we have anti-liquor agitation. During freedom movement, Mahatma Gandhi had called for a ban on the sale of all kinds of liquors. But even our Indian independence, preparing and selling liquor is still continuing. In different parts of the country and the state, anti-liquor agitation has been started by the common people to stop the sale of liquor. Now the common people and especially the women folk have demanded complete ban on it. So they have raised their voice to ban liquor and ban the liquor sale of liquor or